Brodes Media.
No days off. Well, I don't sleep because this team drives me nuts. And that's the problem. Welcome on in to Sports Talk with Brodes. Before we get into the thick of it, if you are new to the channel, welcome on in. You can hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up button as well. I greatly appreciate it. If you are looking to take me on the road with you, which is a tremendous listen, by the way, you can search Sports Talk with Brodes on Apple Podcast and Spotify. We just hit a milestone with the ratings on Apple Pod, so it has been phenomenal. Seriously, thank you. And if you go leave a 5-star rating and a review, it will continue to help the algorithm. And lastly, if you're interested in 8 live streams a month here on YouTube, you could join the membership down below. If you check out the link in the description, you also get access to our Discord channel if you sign up to the memberships here. Coffee with Brodes, baby. There's nothing like it. 8 times a month. All right, everybody. With that, I'll stop yapping. Enjoy the show. All right, now that I got the rant out of the way, we can talk a little bit more civilized, if you will. It's Monday night. Phils are off. We're waiting for them to travel from their 4 and 6 road trip back home. You want to know what's super disappointing? When they got swept by the Yankees, Rob Thomson and the team announced it's going to be good to get away for a little bit. Reset, essentially. Now, they're leaving Arizona. And the first thing out of Bryce's mouth is we got to flush it. We got to flush it. I thought you were flushing the Yankees series. Right? Rob Thomson, it's going to be good to get home and get in front of our crowd again. Wait. I thought it was good to get away from South Philly for a few series. Reality is, Rob Thomson needs to really start holding people accountable. It's time to kick it into gear. Seriously now. Okay? Enough with the we believe in the group, will be okay. No. Start making decisions that might piss people off. Yo, Stott, sorry, and Mundo Sosa's legitimately playing now. Because if you don't, and this just continues, because there's no reason to believe all of a sudden this won't continue. I mean, what are we doing? Think about it. The starting pitching is not what it was to start the year. And that probably makes sense. I know I wanted to believe that we had 4 Cy Young caliber dudes. Reality is, though, you'd find normalcy out of them. Nola still has those disappointing moments mixed in with his good ones. Zach Wheeler's our ace. Ranger can't hold up. We can't sugarcoat this. Literally, we are in a position where Ranger Suarez can't go the distance of a regular season yet. Maybe one day he gets there, but he's not there. And who am I to think he's going to return from these back issues and be great? He might be good. He might have some ups and downs. But the reason why this team was arguably the best team in all of ball, forget the record, because they haven't played like it for 2 months. Okay, I wanted to go 4 on you. I wanted to go 5. It sure feels like it. It feels that long, and that's the problem. I said I got the rant out of the way. I need to do a better job. I got to hold myself accountable. Sort of like what I need from Rob Thomson and this team. If someone's dogging it, yo, sit your ass on the bench. I need something so the intensity can ratchet up. Because you would think as pros, and this is the approach Rob Thompson takes, you would think as pros, you ratchet it up when it's the second half after the All-Star game because you know what time of the year it is. But it's clear that they can't manufacture it. So then the manager has to insert some will, if you will. Sure, yeah, whatever. I think you get it. You got to insert something to try and grab it out of them. Because preaching every little thing is going to be all right sucks right now. So this is what we're going to do on this fine program. We got a lot of angry Phillies fans chiming in on the Anytime Hotline. So let's honestly utilize this off day and this time to allow you to get your voice heard. Because I'm gutted. This was not supposed to be who this team was. Even if they weren't the first half team forever. Even if their starting pitching breaks down and leaks a massive amount of oil at some point. I didn't think we'd be getting our ass kicked by the Diamondbacks. Yo, it wasn't even close. You got ran over. It wasn't even a legitimate series between two damn good Major League Baseball teams. The Phils looked like a piece of trash. And credit to the Diamondbacks for making you look that way. I want to throw the fuck up. Even thinking about those words. I hate them. I do. I despise them. And they're laughing in our face. I hate taking it. Now, I'm a huge fan of when I get to be the absolute jag-off. And I get it. I will receive it. I don't want to. I get it. It's all part of it. But I think the Phils should be better than them. That's why I can't just nonchalantly sit here and go, what are you going to do? They got more firepower. They got excellent this. They got excellent that. Come on, Bryce, let's go. Yo, Stott, Marsh. Marsh might not be able to play. That's how poor he's playing. Now, clearly, I'm taking that a step too far just to put an emphasis, though, on how bad he's been. His level of play striking out at this pace is technically unplayable, to be fair. But, dude, we slotted him in as an everyday center fielder early when he was insane. Remember how the season started? It's a totally different human. But anyway, I'll shut up. The point was to take a lot of phone calls. So let's start things off with Sam.
At some point, we just got to realize that this team isn't as good as we thought that they were. We've taken a massive, massive step back, and it's going to be an uphill battle just to get close to as good as we were playing. We've got no cleanup. As much as I like Alec Bohm, he's a 5-hole. The middle of our order stinks. We got a bunch of guys after our top three who I think will come out of it that just should not be in the middle of the order. I mean, Stott and Marsh and Casty, Hayes, Rojas, all those guys are 7, 8, 9 hitters. And every game we've got one or two of them in the middle of the lineup. The lineup's just not good, and we don't have that cleanup. I'm not saying that Kyle Schwarber should be come out of the leadoff, but we got no cleanup right now. To help the middle of the order, we might have to consider it.
I'm not going to rule anything out. If you ask me, do I want to move Kyle Schwarber? Hell no. Hell no. I think 90% of you knew exactly what my answer was when I asked that rhetorical question that I answered myself anyway. I don't ever want to move Kyle Schwarber. But if I want Rob Thompson to do something that might piss people off for a serious smack in the face, if Rob does it, it's whoa. I want it to feel whoa. And you brought up Austin Hayes, and I could tie Dave Dombrowski into this as well. What I wanted the deadline to be, which was clearly underwhelming, is go get an impact bat. You needed it to be way sexier than Austin Hayes. And with him getting injured, it sucks even more. I wanted the deadline to be wow. It was, it got marginally better. I wanted it to be huge. Well, Rob Thompson moving Kyle Schwarber out of a leadoff spot would make every Phillies fan hit up their group chat and go, yo, boys, look what Topper did. It shakes everything up to its core. We may be there. And you might be thinking, Brodes, wouldn't that be panicking? Probably. I panicked. I mean, I've already been on the record saying I smacked that son of a bitch. I did. So, yeah. Even with Kyle hitting 3 homers and 7 RBI, I'd consider it. Didn't say I definitely commit, though. I'd consider. Big difference. Now, let's get to your Bohm batting cleanup thing. I got to be honest with you, and I cannot believe we live in a world where I'm saying this. Bohm's fine, dude. I mean, I'm with you. It's not a traditional guy that hits a bunch of home runs and has that crazy power, but his doubles are no joke, and he can knock guys in. I feel a lot of the issues with Bohm over the last few months or so, and I don't even know what the numbers are on paper, but it's obvious that he has not been contributing like first half Bohm, but he's still getting doubles. But anyway, my point is this. Trey and Bryce went through arguably the worst run. That impacts Bohm. That impacts Bohm. When those guys cook and when they start doing what they do, Alec Bohm is very, very, very good for you batting clean. Cleanup's not the issue. I just don't think cleanup's the problem. If you want to shake it all up, fine. But you brought up Bohm specifically. It's Marsh, it's Stott, Nick. You might have to try slotting him up, which may end up fizzling out whatever spark we've gotten, but you're desperate because you hit the panic button. You know what I truly need out of this home series with Miami being first in a 2-gamer, which is very awkward? You better win 15-1. 15-1. And I need to see that maybe 3 games in a row. Because on the post-game show of the Arizona Diamondback series, I made a statement about, I lost my train of thought for a second. I was talking about, oh no, come on, it's on the tip of the tongue there. Damn, I'm so devastated I actually had to hit stop recording because I lost it that badly. But the power of technology. When I went back and listened, oh my God, I almost did it again. No, I'm not just buying time. I said that if they go back home, it's a lose-lose situation for them. If they play the Marlins and Nationals and win, you can't win me over. And if you lose, I'm going to be pissed. So there's no actual way of winning me even a tiny percentage. Well, maybe if you go win 17-0 in 2 games in a row, and then you enter the first game of the next series with that same push. And even then, I'd still question it, because I'd say, really, it's the Marlins. Do something against a team that's relevant now. Like the Diamondbacks. Someone mentioned this in my comments, or maybe it was Twitter, at Brodes81, if you want to toss a little, how do you do that way? Are the Diamondbacks to us what we are to the Braves? what the Braves do, it's not really going to play a role. Because when you see the Phils, especially in Citizens Bank Park, when the playoffs come around, we're golden. What do you think the Diamondbacks feel? They feel, these clowns. We're about to mollywop them. And Stubbs wants to go in the pool, huh? Loser. That's what they think. Because they have us by the balls. And that eats me alive. How does it not eat the locker room or the clubhouse? Instead, Bryce looks disheveled and is becoming a popular internet meme. That truly does describe the state, by the way. That wasn't just happenstance. He looked that way for a reason. This team is beat up emotionally. So maybe they put too much thought and too much hate into revenge early in the season where they used all their fuel. And they're hitting the back wall here without any energy left. They're squeezing the lemon, but there's seriously just no juice left because you used all the juice to try and respond to the Braves and Cincinnati series that you started the season off with. I'm just speculating, looking for answers, but right now, I have nothing else to do. I gotta search. Search. It's what I think about 24/7. That's where my brain's at. Dave. No, okay, Dave and Austin Hayes. Yeah, I'm on to something here. It's not enough. Okay, what else? My mind is psychotic. Let's go back to the phones.
Hey, Brodes. Big fan of the show. I was just wondering if you've checked the mail recently and have gotten the adoption papers from the Diamondbacks. Because we fucking own you guys. Peace out, bros.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? That's what I deal with on a day-to-day basis while I'm looking for answers. This isn't how it was supposed to go. I'm supposed to be making those calls to Diamondbacks anytime hotlines. Going, you suck. You suck. You suck. Instead, they're having fun. I want to have fun, man. I want to have fun. And it all starts with Taijuan Walker on Tuesday night. I need a gem from this guy. I hope the world's worst blister is already figured out. We're relying on a man that was asked to have a fake injury. That's where we're at. That's what we are seriously doing. And I got into a debate on the radio about this about a week ago. Maybe 4 days ago or so. These days are not in a line for me, straight line. Would you rather have Allard over Walker? Would you rather have Tyler Phillips over Walker? You might need 2 out of the 3. There's a lot of confusion right now. What's the latest on Ranger? I'm pretty sure I saw something from Corey Seidman just giving an update on one of his bullpen sessions. I guess now would be a good time to kind of throw that one out there. So Ranger Suarez threw again without any issues. He's scheduled to throw live BP at home on Tuesday. Thompson mentioned wanting to see a rehab start on with his ability to check out his fielding without limitations. But more should be known later in the week. Could potentially return on their next trip where they face Atlanta and Kansas City. Okay. When today's game is over, I must have bookmarked this during the actual game still playing out when they were getting pantsed The Phillies will be 8-17 since sweeping the Dodgers, which was the second week of July. The Phillies are 38 for 170, which is a .224 batting average with runners in scoring position since the All-Star break. Now, somebody told me that Jason Stark had a lot of interesting numbers in regards to the Phillies. March 31st through July 4th, Phillies go 85 games in a row without giving up 10-plus runs in a game. On August 10th and 11th, Phillies don't even go 24 hours in a row in Arizona without giving up 10-plus runs in a game. 11, 2 games ago. 12 through 7 innings in their most recent loss. Their second half ERA is now at 5.11. It's not good. I'll tell you that for free. If you gotten anything from this show today, it's not good. All right, what's next?
Here we frickin' go again. It's laughable at this point. This team has fallen apart in so many ways it's almost impressive in a backwards way at this point. But you know what? I'm not mad. I am mad, but I'm not mad about the poor hitting. I'm not mad about the pitching. I'm not mad about the poor umpire calls that we've been getting throughout all this. I can't even tell you that I'm mad about Junior freaking Marte. What I am mad about is the fact that this team's attitude regarding the situation that they are currently in is horrifying. They don't seem worried at all about what's happening right now. You are 1-7 in the last 8 series. 1-7. Does that not concern anybody? The whole character of the Phillies throughout this season has been run it back. We are winners. We know who we are. We're going for a championship. You have now played almost 3.5 weeks of loser baseball. And not all the losses have been on you. Sometimes you're just getting straight up outplayed. But the fact that nobody on this team seems concerned about what's happening scares the living hell out of me. And if I have to hear Rob Thompson say, these guys are too good for this to continue, or some variation of that again, I'm going to start bringing cream pies to Citizens Bank Park because this is a team of clowns.
I didn't know where we were going with that final statement. Hell of a call. I mean, I love every call that I get, except for when they're classless. Diamondbacks fans, of course, or Celtics fans, or Rangers fans, or Cowboys fans. Those people are disgusting. Just disgusting trash. Very deep personal issues to root for that team and for all those teams. All jokes aside, that was a great call, and I guess we're on a very similar path here because something that constantly bothers me is their lackadaisical way of playing baseball right now. They are playing as if everything is good. And part of the reason why I feel that they may feel they're good is because the Braves can't win to save their life. And the Mets are losing out in Seattle. The Mets may win a few games to get Queens all fired up, but they're never going to actually legitimately even pass this version of the Phillies. I think. Maybe they do. Maybe they do because I'm that down bad on the Phillies. But the Phils are playing as if they have so much reason to breathe. The Phillies have been terrible, and they're still leading the division by so much. So much. They may feel the division's wrapped up, so it's less about any of these games that are left on the schedule, anything remaining. It's more about, do they know how to flip the switch the second the game gets to the postseason again? Because of their past few runs, because of their knowledge of that time of the year. I'd counter with by saying, though, that this team clearly has been trying to get out of their funk. I mean, they have. The pressure is getting to them. So if they can't get out of it now, what makes you think that the postseason would be any easier? Because they are trying. They do know how bad the numbers are. They do know that they are significantly underwhelming the entire city. Unless they truly don't give two damns. And they really are rolling the ball out. And we'll see where it lies because, trust me, we're fantastic. But do you really think that's the makeup of Kyle and Bryce and even with the way Nick is playing lately? No, I think their starting pitching is hitting a major wall. And guys who you trusted are killing you. Stott and Marsh. That is devastating how poor it's been from both of them. Like, seriously devastating. Stott's almost unplayable, and so is Marsh. I just never would have thought. Never would have thought that we'd be here. Hey, before we continue, let me tell you, though, about something that is extremely positive because it's been such a negative show, reasonably so. I have to tell you about my friend over at Chris Gates Fitness. I know that you all are majority Eagles fans, and if you have health and fitness goals too, listen up because we have a new sponsor, Chris Gates, and his online fitness membership called Training Camp. Training Camp is a monthly fitness program designed specifically for football fans, and there's honestly nothing like it out there. Chris has been coaching people for years online. He's a massive football fan, and whether you struggle to stay consistent in the past, felt confused about what exercises to do, or needed more accountability, make sure you check out Training Camp down below in the description. If you use promo code Brodes, you get 50% off your first month. There's a brand new workout program that is launched for the month of August, and then near the end of this month, there will be a weekly football pick'em challenge that begins where you can win free supplements from Legion Athletics, and in September there will be a step count challenge in the private Training Camp community where you will get potentially a free walking pad treadmill if you win. So make sure you check out the information all down below in the description. Don't be a fool. It is truly changing people's lives by the second, and it could change yours as well. All right, let's run back to the phones and hear from Sean.
Pure manure, Hunter. That's exactly what it is, pure manure. And I told you on Twitter that you and I were on the same wavelength in terms of what we were looking for with this West Coast trip. I wanted this team to show me, to convince me that they're a legitimate contender to the crown. I also was not happy with 500. I really wasn't that happy with 6-4. I was hoping for 7-3, 8-2. Isn't this the time of year where you're supposed to be clicking on all cylinders heading into September? This is when this team should be playing their best baseball, not their worst baseball. Can we blame Rob Thompson? Sure. Can we blame Dave Dombrowski? Sure. Can we blame the players and coaches? Absolutely. I mean, it's a collective Philadelphia Eagles type collapse that we're seeing here. And I just do not see this team, quote unquote, flipping the switch and all of a sudden look like the team we saw back in May and June. I think they're done. If they don't somehow, some way, by the grace of God, finagle home field advantage in the postseason, if they have to go on the road where they have to play in parks, where they have to manufacture runs and do little things to win, have a good off season, boys, because it ain't happening again.
Sean, hitting me with a dagger, dude. And what sucks is, I agree. I believe exactly what you're saying. The only spot I'll push back on with your call is 8-2 is a hell of a goal. And trust me, I love you putting that level of expectations on the team. 8-2, though, would be a really sensational roadie. And based off the way they were playing, I couldn't expect that leap. You're right, though. We should be able to. And I think that's more or less what you're trying to get at, is you feel now is the time when you should be pushing all of your chips in, playing such clean, crisp baseball where teams are afraid to even look at you. Your smell, your body odor just reeks of you're going to fucking lose this game. That's how the Phillies run out of the dugout, and everybody on the other side smells it. That's where we should be right now. And they couldn't be farther from that. They smell all right. I'll tell you what they smell like. Sean said it right from the rip. Manure. Unbelievable. Who's ready to see Lazar pitch again? Lazar is an extension of Garrett Stubbs. Whenever Lazar is in the game, I chalk that up on my meter, or not my meter, but my counter. That I have like a tally. I'm going to make it and have it on a chalkboard paint somewhere in this room. A tally marker where I tally Garrett Stubbs outings in 162. And when Lazar goes in, I'm tallying for Stubbs because it's just the way less painful version for Rob Thompson. I'm so disappointed in Rob. Maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe I should have expected him to do this, but here's why I'm a little stunned that he's this laissez-faire about it. Yes, two things are true. Rob has been this since taking over from Joe. And two, he always sticks to his guns. But I think even when he stayed with his guns in previous positions, Rob's never faced this version of adversity here. Not really. Not this. They didn't start the year off hot last year, but they were progressing into playing their better ball. He's made some poor decisions, managerial-wise, bullpen usage, things of that nature in the postseason. But once again, that's not this. And when you're here for more years, your leash per issue gets shorter. Because then you always question, is it stale? They've been hearing the same thing for so long. So just keep that in mind as well. Not that we're anywhere close to that. With Rob, I figured whenever it got this rough, he was such a savvy manager that he knew it's time. For example, Brian Snitker. Sometimes Brian Snitker does something that really smacks everybody up and wakes them up. I thought Rob had that in him when it was time. And Brian Snitker does it more frequently. I thought Rob had it, though, in his back pocket. But it seems he's truly willing to go down with the ship. And I would respect Rob more making a decision that we eventually go back in time and we realize, you know what, that's when they panicked and they tried to create something they couldn't. All right, well, that was disappointing. I would rather that be the takeaway than Rob truly stay down this method. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. I need at least... I need to know you tried to kick them in the ass. And if you try to kick them in the ass and there's no response, then we will live with the ramifications and then start discussing where or how do we move forward. But if you just sit back and ho-hum your way through, that doesn't sit right with me with this group because these are veterans that know they're not living up to it. They can handle it. You don't think Bryce, Kyle, Trey, Nick can handle JT, Wheeler, can handle Rob bringing some edge? A little bit of edge? Not anything wild. He's not going to start literally spitting in your mouth. But there's going to be something generated with a decision that someone's not going to like. But the response to the decision should be, yo, fellas. Yeah, whoa. All right. No words even need to be said. You look at every man in that clubhouse, and you just nod. All right. You got your AirPods in. You're warming up. You're doing band work. You're getting your arm ready. You're running sprints out in the outfield, preparing for the game. Everybody knows. Yup. All right. Maybe Rob doesn't have that, and that would be extremely disappointing. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this episode. I greatly appreciate all your love and your support. You know that. You guys are the greatest in the world, and I will catch you all on the next one.